How will you find time for other important things when customers constantly call and email? Your idea of what you'll get done during the day falls apart over and over again. I'm David Stiernholm, and in this week's episode of Done, I'll share a somewhat blunt trick for those of you whose customers seem to control your time. But first, over time, as you explore all that AI offers, you come up with excellent prompts that yield the helpful responses you're after. And you want to use them again. But how can you remember them all? There's no need to worry if you save them. But how? I'll tell you about a variety of ways in a fresh post on the Structure blog. You'll find a link there in the show notes. Sure, creating good structure and planning your work is fine, but if customers control my day and I can't count on any of my plans holding up, what should I do then? Some of us, those whose tasks include receiving customer inquiries, preparing proposals, sending quotes, and closing deals, may find it hard to predict what they'll need to devote their day to. Customers call and email constantly, and when customers don't get in touch, it's time for active, outward-facing sales work instead. Always, their focus is on the customer and driving more business. Of course. And that's how it should be in such roles. It's just that many in those professions also have other tasks that aren't directly related to selling. They can be more long-term tasks, which don't produce noticeable results now, but later. These tasks can create better conditions for doing the sales work itself. At every moment, it may seem entirely obvious that whatever directly concerns the customer must be prioritized above all else. However, if the other tasks don't receive their fair share of time, it will ultimately cost more. A messy disorder can gradually develop, which eventually needs to be addressed when it becomes a hindrance to sales work. The flow of new inquiries may dry up if the long-term cultivation isn't done. If customers keep getting in touch all the time, there won't come a natural stopping point when you're done with sales and can move on to other tasks. Instead, you need to decide yourself when to stop selling for now. Is it when you can't manage anymore, or is it a bit earlier when you still have the energy and time left for the more long-term work? For an efficiency enthusiast like me, it would be natural to suggest that you streamline your sales work so you also have time for other tasks. But if you don't consciously decide to let go of sales, you'll probably use the freed up time to sell even more, because there's always more coming in. So what's needed here is a structure that allows time and space for both the long-term and the directly customer-focused. Do this. If you recognize yourself in letting your customers control your time, and you also want time for other tasks, consider how much time per week you'd be willing to test letting go of customer focus and instead work on the other tasks. If we agree that you can't work 100% with intensive sales, what's the reasonable share you can spend on that while still having time for other things? Is it 75% or 95% or 80%? I understand if it feels challenging to turn away from customers for a while. Then start small. Could you spare 2 focused hours per week? Or 3? Find out when it would cost the least to throttle the inflow of business. How does the inflow of new inquiries spread across the hours of the week? When is it usually a little quieter? When is the risk lowest that you'll miss that big, juicy deal that drops in? If you don't already have statistics, log the number of incoming inquiries per hour for a couple of weeks to get a sense of the volume. Spread out your non-customer focused time during the cheap hours of the week in a way that suits you. Is it better to have several short sessions, or would one longer block work better? Put the time in your calendar so it's visible and you can plan around it. If something urgent still comes up that forces you to move it, don't delete it. Instead, shift it like a sliding puzzle. When your non-customer focused time comes, block the inflow completely. Set email to offline mode. Turn on Do Not Disturb on your phone. If you want to be sure that your business doesn't miss any opportunities, agree with a colleague who also needs time for other things so you cover for each other. When your non-customer focused time occurs, let your colleague monitor your inflow. Forward calls and redirect all incoming emails for a while with a mail rule. You can easily switch on and off when needed. Because if you consciously dedicate time when your plan rules, regardless of what customer want, You'll also get those important tasks done that otherwise constantly hang over you. In the moment, it might feel like a wrong decision to miss out on valuable sales time, but if the tasks you do instead are important for you and the business in the long term, your operational sales work will benefit over time. What tricks do you have to both find time to serve customers who constantly show up and to work on other long-term matters? Please write to me and let me know. I often encounter this issue with certain professions, and I count myself among them, in fact. And I'm always on the lookout for innovative methods that can help. You can reach me, as usual, at david@stiernholm.com. Thank you for today, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.